Are you looking to sell your home? Finding the right agent can make all the difference. Having a good listing agent could be the difference between a successful sale or not selling your home at all. Hey guys, my name's Grant, and by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to find a good listing agent. So what exactly is a listing agent? A listing agent is your partner to get your property sold. They're going to help you go through the marketing plan, the pricing strategy, help you with the negotiations once you start receiving offers. They're going to help guide you through the process to help you get your property sold as quickly as possible and for the highest possible price. That's the two goals. Let's cover some key traits that a good listing agent should have. They should definitely have experience and market knowledge in your specific market. You don't want to just find any agent in your state. I think that you should look for someone that's at least in your general region, if not your specific city or county, that most of their listings are in that specific area. So, if I were you, I would be looking online. I would be looking at that agent's current listings, that agent's past listings or sold listings, if you will, and how many of those past listings also expired or didn't sell. Just diving into their history with listings in that local market, and also what types of properties they're usually listing. For example, you may have a raw piece of land and the agent you're looking at might be listing only single family homes. Of course that person can sell land, but do you want to sell your land with that agent, or would you rather sell that land with an agent that only sells land? You see, you just want to know exactly what your property entails, what makes your property unique, and then you want to try to find an agent that actually sells that specific category of real estate. So the next key trait that every good listing agent should have is going to be a marketing plan talked about prior to going to market with you, the property owner. A marketing plan is simply a way for that agent to get on the same page with you about what the price should be going to market, where the listing should be advertised and promoted, and how long it should be advertised and promoted, and at intervals, so to speak. So if the home is on the market for 4 weeks and we have no activity, no showings, no offers, then maybe we'll go ahead and agree up front to reduce the price by $10,000 if that happens, right? So it's basically a plan before you hit the market to ensure a smooth and successful sale. And it can adjust as it goes, but you want to have one in place up front that's really good and you feel good about and you feel strong about. But just understand that this marketing plan can change through the process depending on what may or may not happen. All right, guys, so the next key topic we're going to discuss that a good listing agent should always have is negotiation skills. This isn't a masterclass on negotiation by any means, but all I'm saying is I would definitely ask that agent to give a case study or an example of when they helped a seller like yourself sell their property for better terms or a better price or whatever. That seller was better off because of that agent's negotiation skills. If you could get an agent to thoroughly outline that and walk you through it, I think that that's going to really help you understand, okay, this agent does have negotiation skills or does not have negotiation skills. Okay guys, I saved the best for last. The very last key trait, there's a lot of key traits. I'm just covering the 4 most important ones, I think. But this one is the most important, and it is communication skills. Is that listing agent going to communicate with you and everyone else that needs to be communicated with through this process? If you call them, are they going to answer, or are they going to call you back tomorrow or next week? Are you going to get an update once a week, or are you going to be updated when you call them? Let's say you have a showing tomorrow. Showing happens, or so you think. You left the home, you got it all prettied up for that showing. You just never hear from your listing agent, for a few days. You just never hear any feedback at all on how that showing went. Did the buyers like it? Did they hate it? Are they interested? Are they thinking about it? Do they need to see other properties? You don't know because that agent didn't ever bother to reach out to you. I would look for an agent that is going to happily communicate with you and be the lead person in communication. You as a seller don't want to be the one trying to track down your agent. That's not how it's supposed to work. It's not how it should ever work. In fact, I think the number one complaint that I get from home sellers is that other agents, I'm not saying every agent, but some other agents are not communicating with them, and that was their ultimate downfall and why the home didn't sell or whatever. So you want to have an agent that will communicate with you and will be happy to communicate with you, because you as the homeowner and seller of the property, you need to know what's happening. And also you can pivot. You can talk with your agent if you're getting some feedback that 3 buyers in a row didn't like the back porch because it needs to be fixed. Maybe that's something that you sit down with that listing agent and find out, do I spend the money to repair this, to overcome this objection? Or is there another way around this barrier? Because if it's a repeated thing, you might want to look at addressing it to try to get the property sold successfully. Okay, so now that we know what to look for when selecting your listing agent, now we're going to talk about how to actually go out and find your listing agent. My first recommendation is going to be starting the process online. Maybe you do a quick Google search for listing agents near me. You want to find someone with a proven track record, and also that has good reviews online. With the review piece, I would say don't rely heavily on one platform. I would look at all of them collectively, or as many of them as you have time for collectively. I would try to look at that same listing agent's Google reviews, Yelp reviews, Realtor.com reviews, Zillow reviews. You want to look at all of them, because a lot of times home sellers, home buyers, they're only leaving a review in one place. So that's why if you just look on Google, for example, you're only going to see the reviews that people that left that one review decided to choose Google. So you're not getting the full picture. You want to look at all of them as a whole. You can also look at their online, websites, social media profiles. How many followers do they have? Are they actively engaged on platforms like YouTube? Do they make content regularly? Are they promoting other properties like yours on those social platforms? There's going to be telltale signs to look for online. And it all starts with those profiles, websites. You want to just try to honestly do a deep dive on whoever you end up deciding, or maybe you get a list of 3 to 5 that you want to interview. You definitely just want to deep dive and get an idea of what their online presence is, because let's be honest, almost every home buyer in today's world starts their process online. And if your listing agent doesn't have a strong online presence, it's just going to make the job harder. I'm not going to say it's impossible, because it's not impossible. There's a lot of word of mouth networking between brokerages. If there's been an agent in your market for 30 plus years and they're just the go-to person and they don't have social profiles, that might be a little bit different scenario. But overall, in today's world, buyers are starting their process online. So you want an agent that has a good online presence. So now that you've done the deep dive online, I would just try to get your list there. Now, I would start looking to friends and family and start asking them. You want to reach out to your sphere, the people you love and trust in your life, and ask them who they would list with, or who they have listed with and had a good experience with, right? Because if you have someone that you know personally that's recommending someone, and then you do the deep dive of them, or vice versa, you've already done a deep dive on them, and now you have someone in your personal life recommending them, I think that that's going to be pretty congruent to where if you go and have a conversation with that listing agent, it's not a guarantee that you're going to list with them, but it's probably going to be better off than if you were to just do one or just the other. I think that looking at both of those together is pretty powerful, because let's be honest, whenever friends or family tell you, hey, go check out this movie, I loved it, or go try this new restaurant around the corner. You know, you're gonna take that more seriously than if you just saw a review online or something like that. So it does go further to ask those that you love and trust what they would do. The last step of finding your listing agent is going to be the interview process. I do recommend at least 2 to 3 agents that you kind of scan through and decide which ones you want to spend time with to actually invite them over, or go out somewhere in your town, maybe their brokerage office or a local coffee shop, to sit down with them and find out if you do or do not want to list with them. I would say at least 2 to 3. Some people just choose one and that's what they want to do. So you're just going to want to sit down and understand, is this person competent and able based off of all the things that I laid out for you today? And also, is this someone that I want to spend potentially 6 months with of my time, getting a phone call once a week from? Is this someone that I actually enjoy like that? And is this person, you know, the best suited for the job, right? Are they going to keep your best interest in mind? You want to have 2 to 3, like I said, but it's rare. Sometimes people just say 1 or 2 and they just know. But usually you have a feeling, right? You have a gut feeling. A lot of times you want to follow that gut feeling, especially if all the logical stuff with the mind aligns with that. You just want to make sure it's congruent, whichever path you end up deciding. Make sure you feel good about it, and numbers wise it makes sense, and just based off all the information that agent has laid out for you, are they really the best fit for the job? So another red flag to look out for is going to be the lack of a marketing plan. You wouldn't believe the number of listing agents I've seen not have a marketing plan at all. They just don't have one. You know, they show up to your house, take a look at the house, and then they tell you what they think they could sell it for, and then they ask you if you want to list with them or not. They don't really walk you through what exactly they're going to do, when exactly they're going to do it, at what point does it make sense for a price drop, if and when. I mean, they're just not going to walk you through that, right? If they don't have a marketing plan, raise your eyebrows right away, because something's off. You want someone that will, a marketing plan also, guys, it doesn't necessarily have to be on paper in a pretty PDF format. Of course, that's nice, but you know, a lot of times it can be just a back and forth between a seller, right? You know, it's just going to go over, hey, I am going to promote your listing in these Facebook groups. I am going to promote your listing 1 social media video each week per platform, right? You know, it's going to be plain and simple, but it's going to be a back and forth convo of what both of you think should be done to get the property sold. You know, is the open house necessary or not, right? If you have an agent that hasn't gone over any of that and hasn't even discussed it, I would start asking some questions on if they're the right agent for you. So the last red flag to look out for is going to be lack of communication from the get-go. You know, if you have an agent and you reach out to them, you can't get a hold of them, but you know, your friends, family members had nothing but good things to say about them. All the online reviews had nothing but good things to say about them, but you can't get them to call you back. Or they called you back and you know, it's just phone tag here and there. Or be reasonable, because every listing agent is busy in and of themselves. They are business owners. But at the same time, just ask yourself, if they're like this from the start, how is it going to be through this whole process, right? And it could be that simply they are a very busy agent. They have so many listings, they have so much business that it is hard for them to get back. And that may be a different scenario to look at as a home seller, right? Because that's almost a good problem to have. But are you, as the homeowner in this situation, going to be okay with that? So you just want to pick up on those signs up front and ask yourself if you could be okay with it, the lack of communication. Because like I said, communication is a huge piece of this. Okay guys, so I just walked you through what a listing agent does, key traits of a good listing agent, how to find a good listing agent, and lastly, the red flags to look out for when selecting your listing agent. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me today. If you like this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions for me, don't forget to leave them in the comments below. If you're a property owner looking to sell your home or property in the Northeast Georgia area, go ahead and click on the link in my description and you can learn more about how I might be the best fit for you to list your property. Also, if you're not in Georgia, because I am only licensed here in Georgia, if you're not in Georgia but you like my videos and you like my advice and you want to work with an agent like me in your market, you could actually click that same link and I can connect with you to help you find the best listing agent in your market. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys on the next one.